live. All right, now we're just setting it up. All right, and it looks like we are live currently. So, hey everyone, I'm back. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. As you see, I have a very, very amazing guest with us today who needs no introduction really, Mr. Les Brown. Thank you for being here. He is one of the world's most amazing motivational speakers. He has spoken all over the world, many topics, and motivating numerous people around the globe. So welcome to Mental Health Moment.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be able to spend some time with you. And thank you for extending the invitation. It's a plum-pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege. It's always a treat when great people meet.
Yes, excellent. So really this month, just a reminder for all of you who've been tuning in the month of May, it is Mental Health Awareness Month, of course. So I wanted to really get your perspective on motivation, and just when we have those rough days, what are your tips to get through?
Well, one of the things that I remember Viktor Frankl said, that life is full of unavoidable suffering. The stuff's going to happen all the time, either to us directly or to the people that we care about.
Yes.
And so what I've done is I have a ritual of listening to motivational materials, as well as reading things that will encourage me, as well as having friends that I will talk to and share when I'm going through a tough time, because all of us have some tough moments in life. I was at several weeks ago at the Cancer Centers of America. I saw their commercials on television. I like the fact that they specialize in the area of cancer. I'm a 27-year prostate cancer conqueror because of God's mercy. And so Dr. Taha from Pakistan, he came in, he said, Mr. Brown, I don't have patients. People that I provide medical care for, they are my family. He said, did they tell you that you have 4th stage cancer? I said, no. He said, you've had it for some time. Did they tell you that it's metastasized to 7 areas of your body?
Wow.
I said, no. They told me it metastasized to my T1, T2, and T3, but I did not know that.
Yes.
Then I smiled because 7 is my lucky number.
That is a good way to look at it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm one of 7 children. I was born February the 17th. My phone number is 702. 7 is my lucky number. Joshua marched around the walls of Jericho 7 times.
Yes.
So I love the number 7. That means the cancer is getting the hell beat out of it, okay? It reminded me a moment when I was with my first oncologist, Dr. Alfred Golston out of Washington, D.C., when he told me that I had been diagnosed with prostate cancer, and my PSA, which stands for prostate specific antigen, as everyone knows in this conversation, was 2,400. 1 to 4 is normal. And I said, well, can you give me a second opinion? He says, yes, and you're ugly too.
That is so horrible.
Oh, I said, come on, man.
No. No.
So, I heard something that Bishop T.D. Jakes said. He said that if you can or money can solve, you don't have a problem. Okay.
That is true.
And that is real. And so Shakespeare says, nothing is neither good nor bad, but thinking makes it so.
Yeah.
Energy. We decide that we're going to surrender to it, it's going to control us, or it's not. So we have to be consciously conscious, not to go on automatic, not to react. Happen to us, to become an observer. Now, is that easy? Absolutely not. My 38-year-old nephew has lost his sight. Woke up a
Wow.
few weeks ago, totally blind. I
Mm.
mean, that took a hit. Here he is. He is a young man who has such promising future, and he's depressed and has expressed suicidal thoughts, and
Wow.
coming up with a strategy to say, hey, you can still navigate life even if you don't have sight. And so
Yes.
then the things that happen to people that you love and care about, and and one of the things that I'm doing recently,
Mm.
I, you don't make other people's problems your problems. Yeah,
That is a great strategy.
absolutely.
Repeat that one. Repeat that one for people.
Don't make other people's problems your problem.
Yes.
Now, I had a granddaughter I've been doing a lot of things for, and I asked her to do something for me, and she had an attitude. So she called me a few days later and said, Papa, here's something I want you to do. And I said, no, I'm not going to do that. She said, oh, you can't do it. No, I can do it. But I've decided not to. Don't make somebody a priority who's made you an option.
Mm. Yeah, that is a good life lesson. That is
Yes,
a
yes.
great life lesson.
That's, I'm sure you'll figure it out. You'll be just fine. All right.
And so many
And
people do that. They make
yeah,
other people's problems their own. And sometimes that is too much.
trust me. And you have to think about, especially when you get around my age. I never thought I'd be this age. I'm in my 75th year on the planet. But
Congratulations.
when and if you get to a point that you can no longer be independent, who's going to wipe your behind? Well, I know I got a son who will write a rap song about it. All right. John Leslie, my daughter Samir, she will pray for it. All right. My daughter Ona, I can stay with her about a week, and my son Calvin, and they gonna say, Daddy, you gotta go. All right. So it's very important for us to intentionally develop strategic, collaborative, supportive relationships with
Yes.
people that we know will be there for us when we need them, and we will be there for them when they need us. And,
Yes.
and that to me, you have to look ahead. So I don't have many old friends. Those of me, most of them kick the bucket. So they're gone now. I remember my mother. I'm a foster child, and so I remember when I brought a gentleman to meet my mother, and I think Mama at that time was like 80, and he was 72. And when he left, they looked at Bob Barker. The Price is Right. She said to our neighbor the next morning, she didn't know. Yeah, if he wanted to introduce me to somebody, the guy who cut the grass the other day, he'd look around 35. That's my speed. I'm saying, oh my God, I don't want to hear this. My mother was something else. All right. So you
Yes.
have to surround yourself
Yes.
with good, positive relationships.
And I like that you brought that up, but also reminding people that really it goes both ways, because we all know sometimes there are individuals that are sucking and draining the energy out of you, but it really needs to be mutually beneficial. That's so important. I'm glad you
There are
brought
people who are always there when they need you, but when you
Mhm.
need them, you can't find them. Ian
Yes.
Levon said something that I think is mentally healthy. She said, give to yourself
Mhm.
until your cup runneth over, and then give to others from the overflow.
Yes.
And I've been the go-to person in my family all the time. So I wrote a resignation letter that I'm no longer going to be Mr. ATM. They rejected my resignation letter.
I have never
And I
heard that
wrote
one. That's a
another
good
one.
one.
Yes, I said, I now resign. I'm putting you on notice. And I got block on my telephone. Now, if you want to call it pray for me or you need some prayer, I will be more than happy to hook you up. All right. I will pray for you. But homie is
Yes.
not going to be Mr. ATM anymore.
Yes. But that is important that we really have to continue to evaluate the relationships in our life, as you mentioned. If it's draining, if it's tiring, if it's one-sided, you really need to be surrounding yourself, as you mentioned, with people that are positive, that's going to help you and you help them. That's very healthy. I love that.
Yeah, there's a term in psychiatry that was adapted a few years ago called relational illness.
Mm.
That there are some people that can make you sick, and many people, their health has been compromised. They many overweight, and not overweight because of what they eat, but overweight because of what's eating them.
Mm.
So you have to decide to draw the line and decide, I don't need to take this on. I don't have the mental bandwidth for this. So there's certain things that I just won't take on. I said, I don't need this in my life. Now, I must admit, I need therapy for breaking my addiction to watching CNN, constant negative news. Okay. I'm addicted to the Trump factor, all right? I need some help. Oh my God. I'm gonna miss him when he's gone. I know this is not mentally healthy. I know, but I need help. If y'all got anything you can share with me, some cough drops or anything, some special medicated toothpaste, I'll take it. All right.
Okay. I don't know that, but I'm sure it's out there.
But I mean, I watch every day, and I know this is not mentally healthy. And so I'm working on myself for that, because you have to control the things that come in, and some days I have to take a break because it's just too toxic and too negative. But I'm just
great
enjoying. It is drama every day.
It is drama every day, and I've always said that to take breaks.
Yes, but you know what I did, and this blew my mind. I put on a blood pressure cup, and I switched over and started watching Fox, and my blood pressure went up so quick. I said, "Whoa!" So I don't even go over there anymore.
Okay. Well, you have the proof, right?
That's right. I had proof. My blood pressure shot up. So I'm not willing to die for that news. Okay. I have a friend over there named Juan Williams. He's a great guy, and I don't know how he does the show, but he asked me, say, "Can you send me some motivation?" I said, "I'm gonna hook a brother up." Yeah.
Speaking of motivation, I did want to say too, and I want to tell everyone watching this that one of my favorite books of yours is Live Your Dreams. Fascinating, amazing book. I would highly recommend it to someone, and even if you already read it, to reread it. That is definitely in my Kindle. Live Your Dreams, Say Yes to Life. And I'm going to put it in the comments, after everything. And I want to remind people too, if you want to learn more about Les Brown, I'm sure you know a lot. I have personally talked to so many people who have said you have been amazing in their life, just, watching your interview, which is amazing. But if you want to learn more, lesbrown.com, definitely reach out to him. I know you're a busy person, but definitely reach out to him, because you just have so much valuable information that you can.
What I'd like to do for them, I'll send them some videos and audio programs. They just say mental health and say and put that in the bar.
Okay.
Interview, mental health interview, and I will send them some videos, motivational videos that will create a shift in their thinking.
Nice.
How to live their lives as a result of the story they believe about themselves. And so what I do as a speaker and as a trainer, as a life coach, is distract, dispute, and inspire. Distract people from their current story. And as they listen, they will go through an experience, and it will dismantle that whole mindset where they are, and inspire them to begin to get back to creating the next greatest version of themselves, and back to connecting with the personal power that they have. And I got into this being labeled educable mentally retarded, born in an abandoned building on a poor floor, in a floor in Miami, Florida, in Liberty City, and being a foster child and being adopted. I have a twin brother, and I was called DT, the dumb twin. I had to learn how to handle the verbal abuse and how to handle the low expectations that people had of me in school, and being put in that category, what it does to your self-esteem and how people see you. And I had this high school teacher who who told me, young man, someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. And he
Yes.
interrupted my vision of myself. And he got me on the path, Mr. Leroy Washington at
Yes.
Booker T. Washington High School. He didn't know it, but I took him on as my spiritual father. I've never known my birth parents. And he told me that you don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are.
Mm.
He said, if you want to become successful, he said, you got to reprogram your mind. And he gave me a set of motivational things to listen to. And I did that. And he said, there are three keys is very important that allows you to control your destiny.
Mm.
I'm bringing this up because a lot of people are stressed out. They're working on jobs that's below their pay grade, that do more, do it faster, and do it less with less resources. And so he said, you want to control your destiny. He said, work on your mind, listen to things that will expand your vision of yourself beyond your circumstances and mental conditioning. Develop your communication skills, because once you open your mouth, you tell the world who you are. And three, practice the principle of OQP, only quality people.
Good.
And so if you find a person that maybe at one point in time that relationship was positive and it turned negative, it goes south, he said, let go or be dragged. You either let it go or they're going to drag you down. And I found that very, very true.
Yes, very true. I love those tips so much, especially again, as we're talking about relationships and people and positivity in your life. That is so powerful. Those tips that you mentioned. And I think mental health interview, as Les Brown has just mentioned, put that in the bar at lesbrown.com.
No, send it to lesbrown77 at gmail.com. I apologize.
Okay.
That's my personal email, lesbrown77 at gmail.com.
Okay, even better.
Videos, they listen to this first thing in the morning, because what you listen to the first 20 minutes when you wake up will control the spirit of your day. That's number one. So you want to listen to something positive. Don't listen to the news first thing in the morning or the last thing at night. And listen the last thing at night, because that state of mind that we go in when we're getting ready to go to sleep, it will impact you at the subconscious level, and you wake up with a feeling of optimism. I do this all the time. Now, I'm a Mickey Mouse fan. I have a Mickey Mouse shirt. I got a Mickey Mouse watch, Mickey Mouse socks, and underwear, but I'm not showing. All right.
Good.
And the reason is Dr. Norman Cousins wrote a book years ago. He was diagnosed with terminal cancer, and he wrote this book called The Anatomy of an Illness. And he watched Lucille Ball and Jimmy Durante. Good night, Miss Calabish, wherever you are. And I Love Lucy and all these funny comedies. And he laughed himself back to good health.
That's amazing.
So I find I'm going to the movies. I go see comedies. I don't go to things that will scare me to death. And I laugh a lot, and I find things that make me funny, and I laugh at myself. And I think you look better when you smile. Even homely people look better when they smile. Watch. I told you. You see how you laugh? And so I laugh. I tickle myself. All right. My kids say, "Daddy, you're a 75-year-old kid." I said, "Hello," but I'm still here.
Yes.
And, I study the area of psychoneuroimmunology, and one of the things they say that everybody on here knows: 1 minute of anger compromises your immune system for 4 to 5 hours. 1 minute of anger.
Wow.
1 minute of laughter boosts your immune system for over 24 hours. So after they get through watching this, they're not going to get sick for 20 years.
Yes, exactly. We've been laughing all the way through.
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. I thank you so much. I love that tip. Really, because laughter is the best medicine. It's definitely cliche, but it's so absolutely true. So again, your website again, or you're not your website, your email again for people.
lesbrown77, that 7 is my lucky number, at gmail.com. lesbrown77 at gmail.com. I encourage them to
Yes.
laugh at themselves. Sometimes we have to laugh in our tears. That there's a quote I heard once, that in life you will always be faced with a series of God ordained opportunities, brilliantly disguised as problems and challenges. And so I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two. And there are things that used to aggravate me or I would get upset about. No, I don't entertain it. I don't have the mental bandwidth for it. I don't need it a part of my consciousness. And so I deliberately do things that make me laugh.
Mm.
I, my environment is one, the colors that I've selected, the things that I do, conversations that I entertain, and those that I don't entertain. It's intentional. I don't take a phone call unless it's positive, unless it's productive, unless it's profitable, and unless it's purposeful. Is it going in the direction of where I'm taking my life? If
Mm-hmm.
it's negative, I don't take it. And I'm certainly
Yes.
not take calls and I can't see the number. So you've got to be intentional. Most people are depressed and stressed out because they have too many interruptions, too many distractions. And
Mm-hmm.
very important to take charge of our environment, our
Yes.
minds, and minimize the level of distractions.
Yes. I love those. I want to thank you so much for all of these amazing tips. Again, you have Les Brown's email address, you have the website. Definitely get that book as well. Live Your Dreams, Say Yes to Life. I love that book. That's one of my favorite books of yours. And
Thank
also,
you.
It's Not Over Until You Win. Also, another major, amazing book. So, as we wrap up here, any last comments that you want to share with everyone? And again, we thank you so much for sharing this information. But any last comments that you want to share?
Yes. Helen Keller said something that I embrace. And I said this because I just finished eating. She said, life is short and unpredictable. Eat the dessert first.
I like that.
And I do that. I eat the dessert first.
That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wonderful.
So thank you so much for this invitation. I hope people got some value out of it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Appreciate you as well. Continue to do the great work that you're doing, bringing light where there's darkness.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if we can in here. And